All right. Can you hear me, Copter?
Mars, I can hear you very well.
All right. So we have Copter on his commentating debut. You've heard him in the crowd. You've heard him in the stripes. You hear him on the track. Let's see what he's going to shout out to the people at home. So we have the Light City Sabers taking on Perth Men's Roller Derby. The Light City Sabers want us to do a shout out to the ladies' wine and cheese party back home.
I'm pretty sure they said something about how you all have to take a shot right now.
Okay, and there we go. We get a spring break for you as well. All right, but Dino...
more Light City than we expected to see this early in the game.
Yep, exactly. All right, but Dino did want to sit there and say that every 5-point pass they score, that is a shot. They also said every time they lead jammer, that's a shot. But every point they score, that's a shot. That's what they wanted to start with. But I said that's a bit excessive. I know how Adelaide people drink. I'm from there. But that's a bit excessive even for us.
That is a lot of shots.
That's a... Wait, shots with wine? Oh, my God. Are we playing Goon of Fortune back home?
I hope so.
All right. As long as they've got that laptop set up ready to watch this game, the Goon of Fortune with the cheese can continue. All right. Back home in... Actually, I'm born in Perth, so maybe they're doing shots of emu bitter. I'm not sure. I'm not sure anyone actually drinks emu bitter. All right, but we have 9-2-5 Sparkle lining up against Rogan Josh.
So we've got Light City taking the back. We'll see how we go.
All right, Rogan Josh, one of your Wizards of Oz, and one of the smiley people on the track.
One of the smiliest jammers, but also quite slippery and strong.
All right, there we go. Rogan Josh, lead jammer, gets on out.
And Sparkle is right there behind him.
All right, the Perth men trying to get up to the front there. Oh, a little bit of jammer on jammer contact there, but Rogan Josh manages to stay in front. All right, so these are two 15-minute halves. We are allowed to go up to 7 penalties, and we do have official reviews and timeouts in play.
So both jammers on their scoring passes now.
All right, it does actually feel slightly cooler now.
Bad news for Perth as their jammer, 925 Sparkle, is sent to the bin. Rogan Josh gives the power jam single to his bench.
Right. Is this going to be a 5-point pass?
It looks like it. Let's keep an eye on the jam ref.
He's to the out and a bit of a jump.
With a bit
Look,
of
the
an
hand
jump.
goes up. That's 5 points, Adelaide.
That's shots, guys. That's shots.
All right. The Light City Sabers trying to slow it right down, letting their jammer in the middle.
Great wall there from Perth, but Josh knows how to get around it.
All right, so Josh is doing a bit of a spin there. I've seen lots of the jammers today actually turning to come in, skating backwards, trying to get their hips past to get those points even before they've gotten any contact.
Now, Rogan Josh doing the smart thing there and calling the jam while the Perth jammer was still in the bin.
What do we call this one?
That jammer has been iced.
Iced.
I tell you what, getting iced right now with this weather would be amazing.
All right, I know that Adelaide was a little bit hotter during the week, but definitely it's been hot today out here in Ipswich. As Triforce, the captain for the Light City Sabers, lines up on the jammer line. He does get to start with the power jam. Oh, they just squish him. Look at that, Triangle of Doom, all of a sudden up the front there. But to the out, to the in, he gets out just as Sparkle returns to the track. I want to call him Sparkle Motion every time he comes on.
Look, and I think every time he gets a penalty, we should doubt his commitment to Sparkle Motion.
All right, okay. All right, and we have Triforce coming around now for his scoring pass.
Oh, some great O from Union. Smack there on the outside.
All right.
Triforce thinks he got 4.
All right.
Target dummy thinks he got 1.
All right, we had a bit of Instagram action. You hashtag AMRD Nationals for that one, Puss.
Now, what we would really like to see is some people at the Light City party. Let's see some photos on Twitter or Instagram and hashtag them AMRD Nationals.
All right, I want to see them. I'm getting on Instagram right now.
And I'll get on Twitter.
All right. All right, as we have Jumanji lining up against Oliver Sutton. Oliver Sutton just going straight in there, barging his way through. Still one up the front. Disco Stew had to let him go. Oh, no, sorry, that wasn't Disco Stew. That was number 89, Judgment Ray.
Now, Light City haven't got a chance to get their wall together yet, and all of a sudden is just really hard to stop.
That's an apt description right there. All right, Jumanji still trying to push them out at the front. Finally gets out. All of a sudden making quick work of that track there. The arms were swinging.
So all of a sudden's leg to rest of body ratio is really off the charts. He's pretty much just legs, which makes him a very fast skater, and he calls it off before Jumanji can score any points. So that's good work there from Perth. 16-12 now, favouring Light City. Anyone's game right now.
All right. I'm just sitting there and going to check out our hashtags. All right, Dude of Hazard, one of the bearded fellows. Last time I saw him in Adelaide, that beard was a whole lot bigger, but maybe he's trimmed it down just for Ipswich. Lining up against Sparkle.
So we've just seen a great picture on Twitter from Captain April. Captain April, thanks for tweeting that. You guys look like you're having fun.
All right, I see 109 Instagram posts there.
Okay,
oh dear.
And
all right, that
Dude
is
of Hazard
Dude
is
of
out
Hazard.
his lead. We've got Moto from Perth going to the bin for a penalty. And Sparkle
right.
is
Is
caught,
this gonna be-
is caught in the
Wait,
caught in
the
the
hand
pack.
goes up. That's a
That's a
grand
fu-
slam.
That means shots, guys.
That means shots.
What are you drinking? Send us a picture. Captain April, can you hear us? Send us a picture of what you're drinking. All right, great inverted blocking there from Crunch, RED5 from Perth. Really making life tough for Dude of Hazard, but
Sparkle
still.
is fighting up the back there. The Light City Sabers were
And now he's out.
The Light City Sabers were quite disappointed with their performance against the Tweed Valley Vikings, and look at them just bringing it out against Perth.
And there, Rogan Josh there, amazing clear of the inside to get a 4-point pass, so no shots, for his jammer. So great work offensively there from Light City.
Oh, I see a photo. Live Derby Party, Cherry Bomb. All right, Varsity Derby League, Capital Carnage. They're watching as well. Oh, they'll be watching you, Copty. All right, all of a sudden, hanging back, Triforce right up against the wall there. Oh, big hit there by Tankerous. All right. Damage Inc. also trying to lay a hit on Triforce, but Triforce is going to chase him down.
Now chasing down all of a sudden is no mean
Look
feat.
at that. All of a sudden just goes, wait a second, you're behind me. Let's spread that gap.
And so Oliver just uses that speed, smashes into a small gap of that wall, and even though he didn't get through the
Look at those party
wall...
shorts. They're such party shorts.
Well, those party shorts got in front of 3 shorts of Light City blockers, and he got 3 points for that.
All right, Steve Holt.
Steve Holtz.
It's the way it has to be said. All right. He's on the jammer line for his first one in this jam up against Rogan Josh. All right, Rogan Josh trying to get past Sparkle. He's on the out, but Steve Holtz.
Steve Holtz, lead jammer.
All right, Perth, where are you? Are you nice and loud? Are you watching at home? Where's the Ward girls, the PRD girls?
Oh, that apex jump, though.
All right, he has to recover and go back. There's been so many jumps and lands which haven't quite been legit that they've had to go back, and that's just eating up time.
Absolutely. And in a 30-point format, you just can't afford to have your jammer in the bin.
No. All right, Steve Holt gets himself a 5-point pass. I think that's a drink for any Perth supporters out there.
If there are any Perth supporters watching, if you think your drinking game is up to what the Adelaide girls are, then, you know, you've got to take a shot.
All right, Moto having to let Rogan Josh go on, and Steve Holt. Big hit from Smack and Tease. Gets the no pass, no point. All right, a timeout being called by Perth Men's Derby. Just remember, for all of your skating needs, to check out www.extremeskates.com.au. Also, if your panties are in disarray, you're finding them more on the floor around your ankles instead of on your helmet, check out spankalley.com.au for custom-made panties. Sorry, I just made Cop to giggle just from that one.
Well, I think one thing about men's derby, particularly out here in Ipswich in 40-degree heat, is just how moist your panties get.
Yeah, I train out here with you, and when we're doing mixed teams, putting on a panty that a guy has previously worn is not pleasant. Earlier on, we could see actually where the skaters were landing, and when they were standing up, we could see the wet spot on the floor. But it would dry before the next lap would come round. That's how steamy and moist and hot it is out here in the showgrounds.
Look, I got to tell you, we were very lucky, the Scartel, to have an early game. We were over and done by 11 o'clock, so we didn't have to play in the middle of the day heat.
All right. All of a sudden, just standing in the shadow of Apex Predator, he wants to lay a hit on him. I can see it. Count down to that whistle. It's going to happen. Oh, it goes silent in the chook shed. No one wants to start. Oh, it was a big space in between. That timeout, giving an extra 30 seconds. No one wanted to use it, though. All right.
So, Ollie, you know, the first few goes on the wall were unsuccessful, but he jukes his way through. And them legs, he's almost back around already. He only just left, and he's back again.
All right. Still trying to fight to get his way through. Apex Predator almost past Sparkle, gets himself out. All of a sudden, he's already got himself at least 2. That's 3. Just 1, that's 4.
Disco Stew thought he had all of a sudden out, but he kept his toe stops in, didn't force the cut. 4-0 to Perth.
All right, Union Smack lining up against Steve Holt.
Steve Holt.
All right, that's the hashtag, Steve Holt. If you've got any other player hashtags, we'd love to see them. Just make sure you're also tagging AMRD Nationals for us to see them pop up. Oh, sideways derby party from Cherry Bomb. Loving the commentators. Wish she was here. We wish you were here too.
Now I know Cherry Bomb.
Actually, you look a whole lot fresher than what we look like right now. All right, maybe you don't want to be here. It looks like you're in aircon, but look at that. Union Smack gets a cut.
So we've got a jammer switcheroo in the penalty box. And who's that being released?
Steve Holt.
So the pack at a standstill.
All right, we've got Smack and Tease, Dude of Hazard.
We've got a
Rogan Josh.
So great work there from Moto from Perth to break up that 3-wall with a brace. Steve Holt gets through.
And Neil's just trying to slow down Moto. Sparkle finding himself on the way to the penalty box. I do believe he's got a couple of penalties now. We'll double check that at halftime. Oh, Union Smack. Like Moto turns on his side. Never be on your side.
Never be sideways. Oh, if you're going to be sideways, only there for a short time.
All right, gets himself a nice easy 4 points, Adelaide. You get to calm down just a little.
Oh, but...
Oh, Steve Holt gets to run away, takes the no pass, no point, shrugs off Rogan Josh.
Dude of Hazard getting a bit physical there in the pack, trying to make a gap for his jammer successfully.
All right, that's another 4 points. Steve Holt goes straight up the inside. The only person there to slow him down was Rogan Josh. Dude of Hazard tries to get back in play, but it's a swing and a miss. All right.
So Union Smack making short work of the Perth blockers there.
They're all just 4s. I'm pretty sure quite a few of the Adelaide girls would have sat there and had their shot already anyway. The suspense. All right. That's another 4 points. This 2-minute jam is racking up points for both teams. Light City on 46, Perth Men on 43. This one's so close.
And that's the jam being called.
All right, this game will decide who gets to go into the preliminary final D, which is the one that the winner of that gets to go into the 5th place.
Yeah,
all right, playoffs.
This is a consolation bracket in the draw, but getting it to play in that 5th place playoff is really important for these teams. And it's a great honour to come 5th. So
the winner of this game will take on Capital Carnage.
Now, Perth took on Capital Carnage earlier today, and that was a 3-point game.
2 points.
2 points.
2 point game.
Points. So if that is the matchup we see again, expect fireworks out here. With
all right. And that's number 89 for Light City, which is Judgment Ray, getting himself out of the pack, but it being called before he got there, all of a sudden taking the 1 point.
I don't think he noticed. It was Jumanji who hit him out, and he took the 1-0, didn't try and get any more points. So that puts our score at the moment at 47 for Light City and 46 for PMRD. If you were the type of person, Adelaide people, who drink every time there's a lead change, well, you might be getting busy pretty soon.
All right. This one here might be an official review happening in the middle there. Copty, would you like to go for a little bit of a run and find out what it's all about? Come on back shortly. All right, you'll watch a lovely copter running in the middle. He's finding out what it's all about. All right. I don't think Copty knows he can follow the referees to find out what's going on. That's all right. He's going to ask the Light City guys what's going on. Could be just a bit of a time waste to sit there and get a little bit of cool air and get some drink into there with 2.5 minutes to go. It's a good reason to get a bit of time on your side. It has been so hot out here. All right, we've all been trying to make sure we've got ice packs underneath our actual modem to keep the feed going. All right, it's been crazy out here in the shed. Peachy Keen's in charge of the dance mix this afternoon, and she's just bringing it on. All right. It looks like there's quite a bit of discussion with the refs about what it is. All right, if you can see the lovely copter doing some dance moves out there. I think might be but make it fashion moment. I think Copty's trying to get a couple of the captains to at least start a little bit of a dance there, but they're not having a part of it. But look at all of a sudden. Look at that. That is some dance moves over on the far end of the track. All right, and we've got a spring break. All right. Bringing it back to the Rattle ladies and all of the Light City ladies and the Murder City ladies. All right, and any of the fellows that didn't manage to make it up here today, that spring break was for you.
Alrighty, so I'm just back from the middle. So the Perth official review was about the number of points awarded to Oliver Sutton. They wanted 2 points instead of 1. And the referees said that while they did pass Orange Blocker 1881, Ollie then ended up out of bounds and so didn't score any more points. And so the call of 1 point will stand.
All right, Disco Stew making it hard. All right, Steve Holt lining up against Rogan Josh. Smack and Tease doing a lane 4 clear.
Rogan Josh
got him out straight away.
Beautiful work there off the line from LCD.
All right, Steve Holt wants to catch him and wants to catch him quickly. All right, he gets to refresh, gets back on track quick enough, calls it off. Got himself the 4, but Steve Holt got 4 as well.
So not quite a 5-point pass?
No. We need to capture our jammers to get that 5-point pass. Are you having an issue with your headphones as well?
I don't think I can hear myself. Oh, I'm good.
All right. We're backs. Oliver Sutton with the party shorts. All right, Triforce lining up. All right, trying to get Duda Hazard to do a sweep, but did it in his direction, but it doesn't stop Triforce. He goes to the in, the out, and he's in front. They still have Oliver. Can they keep him?
Work. Oh, he's down and
he's out. Okay. So that gives a good lead, though, to Triforce to try to get those points. That lead's gone. He calls it. What'd he get? He gets 2 points.
So that makes it 53-50.
Good work by the Perth guys to slow him right down.
And also great work there by the LCD blockers, just stopping Oliver Sutton from getting through so easily.
All right, we have a couple of the Capital Carnage boys just going into the creep zone on Copter's shoulder there. Oh, and he gets a kiss as well. There we go. So
bless the Carnage in that fantastic pink uniform.
Yes, it was. All right. Sparkle, number 925, getting pushed to the in and getting recycled into the pack. Number 426, that's Niels, not able to contain him, but he had to go back for another reason. There we go. Apex Predator is lead jammer. Just so you know, Sparkle is still in. Oh, Sparkle is off the track.
So it's a power jam.
All right, how many points is it going to be? So no whistle, no opinion.
Sparkles clearly has some either confusion or concerns about that call, but so, bro.
All right, Smack and Tease wanting to do a bit of Moto with the last one to go. All right.
So that was great work there by Smack and Tease, realising that he was keeping Moto in place, skated backwards, putting the blocker who had...
Oh, look at this. Tells him, do big things for me, boys. Yeah. All right, Niels knows. He goes, okay, I'm out of here.
But I just want to go back. I thought that was excellent work by Smack and Teaser. If you can put the blocker who's got your jammer out of play, that's an excellent thing to do.
Yeah, especially considering that the Perth men's wall was still in front of his team, so he had all the space to make sure he wasn't breaking pack. All right, he could just skate backwards and get there. All right, we're at half-time. It is only a 5-minute break in between, so we'll be back shortly. The scores currently sit at Light City Sabers on 61 points. All right, to Perth Men's Derby on 50 points.
So
it's a close one.
I've just seen a great tweet here from Captain April. We will not calm down. Hashtag talk to AMRD. Hashtag AMRD Nationals. Captain April, go nuts. Your team's 11 points up. You guys should be really happy, and I'm sure they can feel the positive vibes all the way here in Ipswich from Adelaide. I hope you guys are having a great time.
All right, we're just going to check out our penalties and also get ourselves a little bit more ice.
Ice sounds fantastic.
All right, and we'll be back very shortly.
So, viewers at home, I don't know if you can hear it over the live feed, but there is a serious Beyonce situation going on at the moment. And I admit to having a little bit of a dance while we were out checking the penalty board to see the penalties are going. And Scare Bear, let's talk about penalties because this is really interesting.
All right, this is quite possibly the cleanest game so far today. All right, Light City Sabers have 2 penalties in their whole team.
Penalties.
That is it. And I think only one of them has been a jammer penalty. Okay, that's our number 77's penalty from earlier in the game when we had a 2-minute jam. All right. On Perth side, we have a grand total of 5 penalties.
Still not very much at all.
Okay. Sparkle is sitting on 3 penalties, and I do believe 2 of them have been jammer penalties. All right, and that's what's keeping Light City in front currently. Okay, those scoring passes when you've got 30 seconds to yourself out there, they're the ones that are getting the Adelaide people to drink.
Absolutely, and I think it's it's a lot easier to get those 5-point passes when there are fewer blockers out there as well. And both teams doing a good job of keeping their blockers on the track because you can't defend your point from the bin.
Oh, and then we get the sneaky ones because the ghost points, you only need the one person to get the 2 or 3.
They're good value points, those ones.
All right, Moto just taking a bit of a rest on the floor there. All right, the concrete is probably the coolest place of this whole shed. So lots of people laying down trying to appreciate it. The lovely Triforce giving you a little bit of a wait. Oh, it's Truffles now.
Truffles.
Oh, okay, Truffles. Look at that. That's a beautiful name change there. All right. We're going to get ourselves some Instagram, Twitter photo action as well. All right. Truffles is just waiting. He wants it to start. He wants it to go. Paperwork flying away. Contain this shit. All right. 426 reporting back to the bin, as well as Sparkle, who's standing in the penalty box. So it won't be a power jam for long. All right, so let's talk about the AMRD calendar 2015. Let's talk about it. Who's the contenders?
Well, I mean...
I think Ferris Wheeler's a contender.
I think Ferris Wheeler is a contender.
Yeah, definitely a contender. Who else is a contender? I think Skate Pilgrim. I think most girls in Australian roller derby would say Skate Pilgrim's a contender.
Look, they might say that, and I think they might be right.
Sausage Rolls.
Sausage Rolls, he's very talented at skating.
Yeah, that's
And also other
exactly
reasons.
all we're looking at. All right, Truffles just pushing as Sparkle comes back towards the track.
Ferris Bueller shot us a glance there of his calendar look as he looked over his shoulder
It was a
to
bit
see what
blue
the jammer
steel.
was. Very blue steel.
All right. So Sparkle just pushing, gets himself out as Truffles. I'm struggling to call him Truffles instead of Triforce.
Well,
but,
look, the official roster I have in front of me says Triforce.
That's all right. We'll run with it. Oh, some sunnies on. There's a bit of glare coming through the side windows here, so referees are deciding they need to look a little bit cooler.
I did wonder earlier why Refinatrix was giving an out-of-play warning. It turns out she was just shielding her eyes so she could watch the action.
All right. Apex Predator lining up against Oliver Sutton.
2 of my favourite names in Australian men's roller derby, I have to say. And definitely my favourite party shorts.
All right, because it's, what is it? Skies out, thighs out. All right, that's what the theme is out here in the sheds.
And here we are, all of a sudden out. And he's back around again. Like, I cannot explain to you how amazing it is to watch him in real life.
If it's a photo of form, can we add that to the calendar?
Absolutely.
Just the party shorts. All right, Apex Predator gets himself out, but Oliver Sutton's got the 5 points.
So that's, I mean, all of a sudden, he's just hard. He's just hard. He's a great blocker, and he's a great jammer.
Oh, Moto, he did a couple of jams earlier today. He's getting a run at it. So he's lining up on the Extreme Skates jammer line up against Rogan Josh.
And Cherry Bomb's just left a lovely comment for us on Instagram. Hot bitches.
Oh,
Thanks,
yeah.
Cherry Bomb. You too. And Rogan Josh is out. He's back around. Moto still struggling with that Light City wall. And as I say that, he gets out.
There we go. You can't stop him for long. All right, Endanin is on Instagram, and they're live tweeting the roller derby via the YouTube feed. So they're keeping you up to date with all the action. I think Target Dummy just became a whole lot cooler, signaling like 0 points then. The fist in the air, the sunny's on. All right, give it up for the refs.
Ref Prince might have a different opinion. Scabear, do you think?
I think he might have a different opinion. I don't, now that I've read Ref Prince, I just sit there and it's just Fresh Prince of Bel-Air playing in my head. All of a sudden running straight to the outside line,
and it's
trying
Truffles
to push.
trying to find an outside line there.
All right. We got Disco Stew and Smack and Teaser.
A good work there, Ferris Bueller. Ollie thought he had a clear run at the outside and didn't.
All right, they're still
And
in there,
now
but
he's
there
out.
we go. All right, that there was Steve Holt's blocking of Truffles, managed to clear the way for Oliver Sutton to give him the space to get through. All right, he calls it. No one tries to stop him. All right.
So
With Oliver Sutton's speed, you got to make sure you're covering that inside line.
just a tiny gap for a second, and that's it. That's 4 points.
All right, Damage Inc. just greeting the floor a little bit too hard. He's going to just take a minute as Moto lines up once again against Apex Predator.
And it looks like we've got a Ward skater, Dash, who's keen to buy the calendar we've been discussing.
Oh, yes. All right, I think we just need to convince some of the AMRD representatives. So Synaptic, Kid and Fuzz, you better get in on this.
And there are two obvious inclusions to the calendar.
Definitely.
Oh.
All right,
Logan
Moto.
Josh getting excited there about blocking the jammer, realizing the jammer was about 40 feet from the pack.
And look
and he
at
just
that.
couldn't.
Apex Predator just getting on those toe stops and running the moment he saw the actual gap open up. But Moto's got himself some points. I think he's got 3. Yes, I am correct.
That is a very serious and cool 3 points from Target
He did not
Dummy.
have Neil's point. Saw Neil step in front of him. It might have been a bit of fear of the beard, but decided to call it. Fear of the beard. Can we make that a new hashtag? Fear of the beard?
Captain April, one of my new favorite tweeters, says that it is Triforce, but it's Truffles when you say it with a mouth guard.
Oh, that is absolutely adorable. All right, Oliver Sutton is pushing through, but 77. That is Union Smack getting himself through
And will
so
Ollie
quickly.
catch him before they get to the pack?
Union Smack just really put that down to the pedal.
That was some seriously fast jamming.
Steve Holt presenting his chest. If that'd been his back, that would have been a back block straight away.
That would have
Union
been a
Smack
back
would have
block.
gotten that call.
But instead, Union Smack picks up 3
Always
points
think
to
about
Ollie's
when
0.
you're forwards, when you're backwards. All right, so I want to sit there and speak kind of like I've got a mouth guard in.
Right
So
foot.
Trappers is on the jammer lines.
Okay, so it's 70 to 62 in favour of Light City with 9 minutes to go. Still anyone's game.
Moto wants that inside, but Dude trying to slow him down. Number
Dude.
89, that was Judgment Ray, just slid off the back of Moto. So Light City really need to make sure they're forming some strong walls, okay? Because it's the
Absolutely.
twitching that's actually getting the Perth Jammers out.
And then Moto gets through the pack unchallenged, calls it off for 4-0 as Dude of Hazard is on his way to the bin.
I still haven't seen any photos of this wine and cheese party.
Captain April, if you can hear us, we want to see more photos of your wine and cheese party. We've got a great photo from Invader Sin of her solo viewing party. Looks like fun.
All right.
And Ollie straight up the outside.
Jumanji just trying to twirl around. He does get himself out, but Ollie has a great lead on this. I don't know if Jumanji can catch him. Wall up, Light City. Oh, Disco Stew. No, sorry. That was Judgment Ray blocking his own blocker out.
That looked pretty hectic.
All right, we got to try to realize if we're wearing the same color, we might be on the same team. So let's just try to stay friends. The when bracing goes bad. Is that a new one, when bracing goes bad? The new...
Look, I'm the sort of person who does occasionally throw teammates at jammers.
And I'm the type of person who occasionally over-braces. All right.
So
Truffles
it's,
and Steve
Truffles.
Holt. Oh. All right. Union Smack just getting a skate to the back of the ankle with that low block.
And Steve Holt there with the cut. Is that Dr. Dino drawing the cut
All
there?
right.
So it is a power jam for Light City, and you know what that means.
That means we got to get a look at that. That's a 5-point pass. There we go. All right. So this one here will get this lead going a little bit further as long as Triforce can keep pushing forwards. Oh, big hit there. Dude of Hazard just looks at Moto and goes, sorry about that.
Look,
Triforce.
He doesn't look that keen to get back on the track.
Look, they're big blockers still.
And it's hot. And this isn't their first game of the day.
This is their third game of the day.
So that was just a 4-point pass there. But Steve Holt is iced in the penalty
All right.
box.
That's an awesome one. He's iced, baby. All right, as a timeout is called by Perth Men's Derby.
And we can now confirm photographic proof of shots from the Light City viewing party. Thanks, ladies.
It wasn't spring break. Sorry, I didn't specify that. It was meant to be spring break as well as shots. All right, we need another 5-point pass. That's what needs to happen.
We've seen Natasha Stott Destroyer and Rocket Man from Brisbane City Rollers Punk Blockers on the couch trying to get cool and watching the
feed there.
The feed.
I think Disco Stew should break it down to this. Is
Look,
Disco Stew a bit of a dancer?
I
don't know. With a name like that, you'd think he must be. I did see Ollie all of a sudden breaking some jam skating out a little bit earlier. They're awfully serious.
It's a very serious timeout.
All right, the Perth pack goes out on track. All right, they've got their 30 seconds. We'll see if they'll shorten that down to the 5. All right, Rogan Josh. He's going to get a few seconds there before Steve Holt returns to the track.
So, Mars, we've just been asked a question by Mia Ballerina on Twitter asking us, is it hot, though? It's pretty hot.
See, in Queensland, when it gets above 33, that's considered actually hot because of the humidity. So when we're actually reaching the temperatures that come down south in heat waves,
so Steve
it's hot.
comes back on the track to smash Rogan Josh as he comes around on his first scoring pass.
Smack and teaser going and taking a little bit of a time out in the Spank Alley penalty box. Oh, look, Rogan Josh, he just goes and visits the medics for a second, calls it off. I think that was a hit from Crunch that set him out there.
And that's 3-0 there for Light City in that jam.
Oh, that was a little bit bad. Judgment Ray almost went out to jam without a mouth guard.
Wow.
Wow.
There is an official timeout. The refs are officially discussing official officiating business.
Making sure everyone's wearing vertical stripes. All the skates have 8 wheels each. That Oliver Sutton's party shorts aren't creating a riot. We do have all the police in town. They're ready for it. I don't make jokes like that. I'll do it in a bingo reference if you like. Anyway up 69. That's the score. All right, do we have a bingo reference for the other side? No, it's just 82.
So Oliver Sutton is calling a little conference with his blockers, working out what their strategy is to get through this Light City defence. Light City have been doing a good job of holding up Oliver Sutton. I think a key part of beating Perth is making sure that you manage Oliver Sutton, because if you don't manage him, he's going to score a lot of points real quick.
I'm trying to think of a beautiful hashtag to go with how to manage Oliver Sutton. If someone can think of one, please make sure you hashtag AMRD Nationals to go with it so then we can think of and notice it come up in our feeds. All right, Judgment Ray lining up. Oliver Sutton goes to the out. Judgment Ray gets pushed through. When they're presenting all backs to Oliver Sutton, that's when he's stuck. Look at that, Judgment Ray.
Judgment Ray's around and Ollie almost gets out but hits the deck.
Oh, sparkle motion, getting himself another penalty.
So that's Union Smack Last line of defense, and Ollie is out.
All right, you never want to go out to lane 4 on an apex. The jam is just going to cut to in.
So very strong arguments for call it there from Light City fans in the crowd. And
All
that's
right.
4-0 for Light City.
All right, Steve Holt returning to the track for Perth Men's Roller Derby. I heard it. There we go. Heard it in the crowd. There was a Steve Holt call.
And it's Steve Holt's up against Truffles.
Oh, Moto just laying a hit, but also going out as well. So Triforce got to step straight back on track. Steve Holt did get lead, but Truffle's right behind him.
He is chasing Steve Holt down, but Steve Holt, apex jumps,
All right.
gets all the points.
All right, Steve Holt just called it off. Could have took an extra second because Sparkle is standing in the bin. He could have gotten his own blocker out.
He could have, but
How many points did go to Truffles then?
Truffles.
He's counting them. You can see.
That there's some serious ref counting face.
Ref
He's checking
counting
the
face.
bin,
He got
3
3
points.
points. All right, might have been worth taking that extra second to get Sparkle out. Oh, but it looks like Moto's going to have to sit in the bin, so they also got a blocker sent.
And-
Rogan
Josh, straight up the inside line. That's just a beautiful
All right,
roller derby.
Crunch tried to come across for the block, but just not being quick enough. This might be a 5-point pass if they can keep him in.
Oh, and Ollie's out.
Oh. All
Those
right.
legs are pumping, and he's
All
almost
right,
back
Rogue
around again.
is just stuck at the back there. That was Sparkle slowing it down. He calls it. Is it too late? Oh, it's 4-2. All right, how many? Oh, Sparkle is getting right up there. I think he might even be on 6 penalties now. Crunch is tired. He says he's coming off. No one can keep him on track when he don't want to.
Perth, Benchy, take you down. Going to have a quick chat
Oh, an
to
official
Sparkle and then
review.
call official review. Alrighty, so Scare Bear is going to go off into the middle and find out what that official review is about. Score check. Light City increasing that lead to 93-75 with 2 minutes and 50 seconds to go. So that's a good place to be in, but this is not in the bag yet. Perth can put on large numbers of points quickly, and I imagine they'll be trying to in the next 2.5 minutes.
Okay, so the blue bench, so Perth Men's Roller Derby, is actually calling into question the multiplayer block that was called on 925 Sparkle. They would like it removed, which would bring him back down in penalties, so it might be a bit of a play there. I didn't get to see the multiplayer block to see if it was or wasn't a questionable call. Does the call stand? The call stands.
So apparently there is a lot of screaming at the Light City viewing party,
Oh.
according to Captain April on Twitter. Well, hopefully, April, you'll be screaming even louder in 2 minutes, but Perth are going to do whatever they can to stop it. Perth want to play off for 5th, and the first step to getting there is to beat Light City. But, you know, Light City, this game is amazing. They've shown that they are really going to throw it out there, and they could win 5th too.
All right, so the winner of this game does go into the prelim D tomorrow at 10:20 Eastern Standard Times up against Capital Carnage. So Steve Holt just getting into the wall straight away, but look at that, Apex Predator. All right, Steve Holt stuck there. I do believe Disco is going to get himself a call. Yes, he does. As Apex Predator comes back to the pack, but Steve Holt just gets out. We miss our 5-point pass. All right, Apex Predator just wants to get that last point off Moto. He gets it. What's he going to do? Oh, he keeps going. He calls it. Was it a bit late? No, he calls it just in time. Keeps that pass on a 0.
So I don't know if you noticed, Scare Bear, but as Refinatrix was giving Moto his out-of-play warning, she gave him a bit of not angry but disappointed face. And
when referees are disappointed in you, it's a bad feeling.
You know, you've got to stay in the engagement zone, guys. And when you leave the engagement zone, refs get disappointed.
All right, I don't know if you can see it on the feed, but there is little red lines on this track. We do try to make it as easy as possible to try to know where you're in play. All of a sudden, going to the out, the in,
Great
the out
ball there
again.
from Light City.
But he gets out. Oh, gets himself in front of Truffles straight away.
So will Truffles try and
Disco
burn some
Stew
clock?
is in the bin. He might be trying to get him out first. The pack's at a standstill. He calls it. All right, 4-2.
And that's the importance of holding that strong wall. There was a little gap there, and Truffles just got his hips in.
Yeah.
A little bit through,
and
4 points.
Perth keeping that back line was probably not the strongest thing to do in that point. All right. All they all of a sudden needed to do was get one blocker to get the point for Disco Stew in the bin.
Yep. And with that, Light City have cracked the ton. The 101 to 77 with a minute to go. This might be the last jam, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, Steve Holt doesn't know where to go.
Josh knows where to go, though, and he's playing some jammer-on-jammer defense, joining his wall. Didn't work
Steve
for him.
Holt got through. Oh, that might be a low block call on Moto. No, it doesn't get a call. Yes, it does. All right, Rogan Josh tries to catch him. Steve Holt's going to try to want to shut this gap, but I don't know if he can in one jam.
So 2-0 for that jam. That brings Perth a little closer, 79 to 101.
Rogan Josh looks at his jammer ref, goes, did I get a point? Then when he sees that he doesn't have one, he's like, oh, that's okay. Shrugs, walks away. That's what you want to be like. You want to be like, did I? No? All right, that's fine. I can go back to my bench now. All right, this might be the last jam of the game. All right, Triforce, also known lovingly as Truffles, the captain of Light City.
No one called a timeout there, so that is it, everybody.
All right.
Everyone was on the track, but no one was calling a timeout. I think Light City thought about it and then thought better of it.
All right. So what we have is tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Well, Eastern Standard Time, not daylight savings.
No, we do not have daylight savings up here in Queensland.
We have 8 a.m. the Scartel taking on the Brawlers.
Now that will be a very handsome matchup, I think.
I think you're a little bit biased in that one there as well. At 9:10 we have Smash taking on the Vanguard.
That'll be a great game.
At 10:20 we have Carnage taking on Light City. At 11:30 we have Manawatu taking on Perth. And then at 12:40 the 5th place playoff will be Tweed versus the winner of the Carnage and Light City game.
So it's
all right, and then we'll have the finals directly after that one. So we'll see you back here at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. I'll be straight back on the live feed. I can't get enough of it.
Well, I will be on the live feed, but not in a commentating capacity. I'll be out there blocking my heart out, trying to stop those jammers from Tasmania.
All right. So we'll see how we go. Look at this. They're giving them a victory lap. It's the end of the day. We've got no games after it. The time isn't restrictive anymore. All right, let's wrap it all up.
Roller derby.
It's been a long day of roller derby. All right, a hot day of roller derby.
A sweaty day of roller derby.
A moist day of roller derby. All right, and all this manliness will be back tomorrow for a day that's expected to peak even higher in the temps.
Even
all right,
higher.
That's on and off the track. All right, we'll see you then.
Bye, everybody.